Just imagine if you got trapped in the dark waters at an extreme depth where no one could rescue you.
Back here at home in the valley in just the past few hours, the body of a missing hiker last seen.
Now those deadly caves, a pair of divers'
This is the
bodies.
chilling story of Enes Maluka, a cave diver, technical diver, and extraordinary cave explorer. Before this tragic tale, she had completed 1,100 dives in her lifetime, reaching depths of up to 110 feet. She was so addicted to adventure that she continuously pushed her limits, crossing one dangerous cave after another. Enes Maluka was born on December 23, 1981. After spending her childhood in Poland, her family moved to Melbourne. In 2002, she experienced her first underwater dive at Swallow Reef in Western Australia. As soon as she entered the water, she witnessed breathtaking marine life, and the moment she surfaced, her first words were, "This is what I want to do for the rest of my life." That passion led her to complete around 1,100 dives. At first, she simply enjoyed observing fish and different marine species, but as her curiosity grew, she wanted to solve more mysteries. She explored the Jafar submarine, which had been buried underwater in Victoria for years. After that, she declared, "I want to explore more of these sunken mysteries." This passion led her to study maritime archaeology at Flinders University. One of the biggest advantages of studying there was that top-performing students got access to Optima rebreathers, special gases, and advanced diving equipment. In 2004, she got her first taste of cave diving at Mount Gambier, a massive sinkhole where many divers had already lost their lives. On her first cave dive, she encountered fish, turtles, and other species she had never seen before. As she explored, she got drawn toward a dark shaft, 40 meters deep, but the divers with her convinced her to turn back. The first thing she said when she surfaced was, "I want to dive into such untouched caves." In the following years, she explored countless caves in the US, Australia, and Mexico, many of which had never been touched by any diver before. One of her greatest achievements was exploring Australia's longest cave, Cocklebiddy, making her the first woman in the country to set multiple records in cave diving. Her technique played a crucial role in her success. While male divers often struggled to carry 2 tanks, her smaller build allowed her to leave one tank behind and continue deeper. This method helped her explore many dangerous caves. She also took up photography and videography, capturing breathtaking footage that even got featured by National Geographic. She was also part of the documentary Blue Holes of the Bahamas. As her passion grew, she became more well-known. Eventually, she got the opportunity to work as a stunt diver in the movie Sanctum, a 3D cave diving thriller. The story closely mirrored her real-life adventures, about a group of divers breaking all boundaries to explore caves feared by many. Her love for videography and photography increased. She started sharing her experiences through videos, photos, and blogs on her website. Through her blogs, she invited more people into the world of deep diving. She also shared her fears and mistakes, openly discussing the dangers of cave diving. On November 30th, 2010, she wrote a blog post describing how she once got stuck deep inside a cave. She had to leave behind her gear and barely escaped with her life. At this point, minor accidents had become a part of her diving experience. But then came the darkest day of her life. Andy Higg, the supervisor of this fateful dive, opened the cave gate and set up a ladder to help divers descend. As always, one diver stayed above to supervise. Enes had already completed a 1,000-foot dive before this, making her the most experienced diver in the group. She had a dream, to reach 3,000 feet and break all existing diving records. On the day of the tragedy, all the divers geared up and prepared to explore the cave. One by one, they descended, but unlike the others, Enes and her friend had something else in mind. Just like Enes, her friend was equally obsessed with pushing the limits. The upper part of the cave was relatively safe, but the lower section was so dangerous that even experienced divers avoided it. Just looking at it was enough to instill fear. But Enes wasn't like other divers. She had already broken every boundary. She pushed forward into a narrow, treacherous tunnel. Then came the critical moment. To move ahead, Enes had to leave one of her gas tanks behind. Without hesitation, she removed it and left it there, thinking, "I still have one tank with me. If needed, I can always go back and switch it." This turned out to be the biggest mistake of her life. As one of her gas tanks neared empty, she tried to turn back. But the visibility was too low. The cave was already narrow, and her movements had disturbed the water, reducing visibility even further. She couldn't find her second tank. Meanwhile, her friend had already surfaced. When Ennis didn't return, the rescue team was called. Even the rescuers hesitated before entering the cave, but with careful planning, they went down to search for her. Among the rescue team was Dr. Richard, one of Enos's close friends. After an entire day of searching, they finally spotted a body floating in the water. As feared, it was Enos Maluka. The most heartbreaking part? She was found just 16 feet away from her full gas cylinder. Her friend later confirmed that Enos had been trapped inside. However, she didn't die from being stuck. She had run out of air. The cave was 1,800 feet deep, but her body was discovered at just 65 feet. This showed that after she lost consciousness, her body slowly floated to the surface. It took the rescue team 4 full days to bring her body back. If you want to see more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Your one subscription gives us the motivation to bring you more amazing content.